Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. I am glad to be home from the Stampin' Up! Convention. It was so great. I'll talk a little bit about it maybe when some people come on. But let me share this to the group real quick. Okay, I think I've got it there. If you hop on, say hello so I know you're here. Group real quick. If you are watching the replay, say hashtag replay so I know you're here. I feel like I'm a little bit crooked. I've got it there. If you hop on, say hello. That might be a little bit better. I'm just going straight live from Facebook. Not streaming because I didn't have time to go through all that ordeal. So, hey, Mom. So today we are going to be making these. Hi, Julie. These cards. Have you guys seen these? Hi, Dee. Hi, Jeannie. Glad you could join. So we're making these cards. So fun. While we're waiting a little bit, if you have dies, I use the Everyday Arches dies. These ones. Hi, Don. I use these dies. But if you have any kind of dies that you can put together and has a little bit of a difference at the top, pull those out so you can craft along with me. I was thinking that something like, if you had something like these, but maybe bigger, something like this might be good. Let me see if I can, something that's got maybe a little bit of a side and maybe a fun top. Circles won't work, but I bet you hexagons would work. I mean, even something like this would work. But you might not be able to have it stand up. I don't know. If someone tries that, let me know. But those really aren't big enough. From what I have. So I'm using these arches. Okay. I'm using the biggest one because it's card size. So something that may be card size. Like this one is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's a perfect, card front size. So grab some so you can craft with me, okay? Because they're really super easy. They look amazing, but they're really, really easy. And I wanted something fun to feature this Storybook Suite because I really, really love the Storybook Suite. Okay, please post those ones that you're doing because I'm really, really interested. I can't think of what the Countryside Corners is, but sounds good. And the Garden Meadows probably would be good too. So I wanted something that would really feature these frames. I really love the frames. So let me show you. I used the Storybook Suite. Sorry, I think it's called the Storybook Moments Suite, but everything has different names, so I don't know. Storybook Friends is the one with the bunnies and the chipmunks and so on. And then there's the Garden Patch Suite that has the, you know, the vegetables, the watering can, and the pots, and so on. These ones, the Storybook Friends, if you get the bundle, it comes with not only the items to cut out the things that you stamp, you know, cut out, like, here's the little hedgehog, you know, I stamped him and colored him in, and the little squirrel. Cut those out. But then you get these amazing frames, right? And I was like, I gotta do something amazing with these. And so I came up with this trifold. It's trifold design. So, but truthfully, you could make this, you could make it 4 panels, you can make it 5, you can make it as many panels as you want. So, this was my starting block, these frames, and then I kind of went from there. If you didn't see my YouTube video from last week, as part of the YouTube hop, the card making hop, sponsored by Valley Oak Paper, this is what I made. I called them Create-A-Scenes, and I used this set, you know, both of these sets, the Storybook Friends and the Storybook Garden. So this one I really was featuring the stamp sets, but not the dies so much. Like here's one, here's a matchbook card. And you know, you guys know the matchbook cards that I made for the swaps for the convention were really popular. Those rainbow ones went almost first. Well, they did end up going first, but you know, the other one that was popular was the vegetable one that I made, which I thought no one would want, but that was really popular. So this one I featured mostly the vegetables. But anyway, my theme was, you know, how to build a scene with these. And look how different these are. Hi, Vicky. I know, my flight was at 7:20 this morning, so I got up at 4 a.m. And the Uber picked me up at 4:55. And my flight took off at 7:20, so I've been home for a little while. Okay, but this time, so like I said, I wanted to feature this, but there's also something about the paper suite that I wanted to feature. And I have talked about this before, I think in that YouTube video. There's some really great papers in here. I used this strawberry paper here because I thought it kind of gave it some elegance. But you've got these, and the dies do cut some of these animals out, like this one, and that one, and this one you can cut out from here. And you can see I have several that I've cut out. There's these that you can make a card front, you know, these, you can cut these out and make them a card front, or even on scrapbook pages. I like this. This was a nice background. I like this. You can cut the houses out, and Vicky, this would be great for our trip to the Cotswolds. Some more vegetables. I don't think any of the dies cut these out though. This paper, I use this paper on my YouTube hop one behind. You can't really see it that much, but I did use it. Okay, but here's what I wanted to show you. We're coming up on those. Are these punch out things, which in my YouTube video, I stamped and colored these. That was part of the video. But these ones have these little guys that you just punch out, and they're already kind of colored in. So the duck and so on. So I thought I'd use these today so that we could focus on making this card and not so much having to stamp and color all of the images, but you can. So all of these things work together, right? You could stamp these. You could stamp and cut these. You could cut them out of the paper if you have the paper and the dies, or you can use that punch out set. Okay? So, but what you're here to learn is how to make these, and you will be surprised at how easy these are. And I know you can't see that so well in the angle of my, camera, but these are really, really easy. Okay, so the first thing, if you're going to make a 3-panel card, we need to cut out 4 of the, whatever your base shape is going to be. 4 of these, okay? So I'm going to cut 4 of the biggest arches out of, I'm going to use the white daisy. Well, not white daisy. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Going back to my close to my heart time, I'm going to use basic white. They did bring back white daisy, but Stampin' Up! Is calling it white willow. I'll talk about the convention while I cut these out. So I'm going to cut 4 of these panels out. Let me put these right here. So these were 4 by 5 1/4. I think each one of these is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it like maybe 4.5 by 5 1/2. Let's cut it like that. Well, let's do 4 1/4, because then I can get 2 out of these. So I think I can get all 4 out of this one sheet. So let's just cut these 4 by 6. If you're using these everyday arches, did I cut that at, this isn't 12 inches. This is 8.5. You guys, I am so tired. I'm so tired that my mind isn't computing, but, yeah, we want these 5 1/2. I'm going to have to probably cut one more piece for this. So if you don't know, I was at the Stampin' Up! Convention this week, Wednesday, until this morning. I got home this morning, and it was really, really great. I will say the best part was meeting all the people. That was really what this was about. I mean, I have a lot of people on my team that I have never met in person. I have met my upline in person before now, because I helped her at the Schaumburg Stampin' Scrapbook Expo, but I had not met anybody else on the team. Although I've heard a lot of the people talked about on Jillian's old lives. You remember she used to, talk to people, and so I met a lot of those guys. So it was really nice. Okay, so I'm going to cut 4 of these. I'm going to get out my stamp, cut, and emboss machine. So that was really, really nice. And it was also nice to, meet other demonstrators, but to meet the, like the president and the main staff at Stampin' Up! Get to know them. And they had a lot of nice things to say about the company, and I really felt a lot of it. So, okay, like I said, I'm going to cut 4 of these out. So cut 4 of whatever you're going to be using as your base. So one of the things that the president talked about at her opening address was that people are more connected than ever before, right? We Zoom with each other, we have meetings, all of these things, but we're not really connecting, is what she said. I believe that's kind of how she put it. And that Stampin' Up! Is more than just the products. It's the relationships and the connecting that you do with, other people. And she told a lot of stories from different demonstrators, that how the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator has made a difference in people's lives. Someone to, talk to when you're having a rough time. Sending cards, and so you don't feel as lonely, that sort of thing. So, I thought that is really true. What we do is not just about buying stuff to put in our stash and, oh, this stamp is cute and that stamp is cute. But what we use it for is going to, is important. I had no idea that Sandy's sister was going to be there. I knew that Sandy's sister was a demonstrator. Sandy told us that she was a demonstrator. I got the impression from Sandy, and that could just have been my interpretation, but that she just did it for the discount, right? And I didn't even think about her being at the convention. So I think Sandy said something in one of my live videos or something, that her sister was here, and so I kept an eye out. And it's actually really funny. I just ran into her by accident. Okay, and I'll tell you the rest of that story after I finish this. Okay, so I've got my 4 base pieces. Okay. On this one, I also cut out 3 of the cherry cobbler. Well, I did cut 3 of the cherry cobbler and put it here. I took the last one off. So well, let me finish what I'm going to say before I say this. I am not going to use the cherry cobbler cardstock. I'm thinking I might just cut out 2 or maybe 3. Let's do 3 of whatever pattern paper I want to use. And so I'll tell you why. By the time you're done with this card, I've got the white layer, I've got the cherry cobbler, and I've got the paper, and then I've got this. So basically it's 4 layers on these 2, and then this one has like 2 layers. And so it's pretty heavy. Also, what I learned after making this is, and it might not bother you, but can you see the white in like along the edges or whatever? I feel like, I didn't quite get it perfect right here. Can you see? I don't know, you might not be able to see, but can you see right here? It, I think that the dark cherry cobbler, and you see the white there, that bothers me. So I was thinking if you use something that was more like this, just the pattern paper, which is what I'm going to try this time, it might be lighter, first of all, right? Because we've got 10 layers, basically 10 layers of cardstock here, or paper, 10 layers of paper. And then it was a little bit harder to match up the edges with the dark. I don't know. So you guys play around with what you're going to do. This time I'm going to cut out 3 of the pattern paper, and I'm going to put the 3 on the 3 panels. But on this one, I cut it 2 sizes smaller. So on my set, I so I used this one for the base, and then I used this third one here for this piece. Okay. So if you want to make it 2 layers like I did, cut 2 pieces of whatever your colored cardstock you want in the same size as your base, and then cut 2 of the pattern paper in a size smaller if you want to see the arch around it. Yeah, I do love it. That's why I picked this cherry cobbler. I thought it went nice with the strawberries, and yeah, I could add marker there. I might have the cherry cobbler. I've got 1 pack of the Stampin' Right markers, and it is a Regal, so I do think I have cherry cobbler. Do you guys want me to do it that way to show you, or do you want the pattern paper? Do you want me to make it, would it be confusing if I don't make it exactly the same as this? So I have, this is the Storybook cardstock, the 2-tone cardstock. Let's see what's in this. I haven't even opened this one up yet. Okay, so while I do that, I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of the colored cardstock. It says the cardstock is heavier than the pattern paper. So I haven't weighed this, so I'm not sure if it's going to be more expensive to mail. Okay, so in the storybook, there's boho blue, calypso coral, crumb cake, lost lagoon, old olive, and wild wheat. So, if I do this one, I could do the, well, like I used the old olive here. This time I was going to use gold. I was going to try and use gold foil. So, let's use old olive. Okay, let's cut this out. Let me cut a few pieces. Okay, so to get back to my story about Sandy's sister, I don't know if you saw in one of my posts, I think yesterday's post, that I was doing a scavenger hunt. The team had made a scavenger hunt, and you had to find like, I don't know, a platinum level demonstrator. You had to get a signature of the president of the company or her husband. You had to find somebody who was a Stampin' Up! Person from 20 plus years, just various things. No, somebody from your own state. Well, I'll tell you, the hardest ones were the platinum level demonstrators. So I'm going to cut 2 of these out, guys. Okay, 2. The hardest one for me was the platinum level demonstrator because there aren't that many. Even the people that I thought, were really high up and whatever aren't platinum. Because to be, I don't know, I think to be platinum, you have to sell a certain amount per month and have a certain number of downline or something. Anyway, they were hard. And then I was looking for somebody from Illinois. I couldn't find anybody. So we got to the, not the opening session, but it was the session on the 3rd day, the morning session on the 3rd day. And I still had 4 more things on my scavenger hunt to go. Because I had forgot to bring the scavenger hunt the first day. And that was because I ended up changing my notebook that I used. And I had it in the notebook. So okay, so I've got 2 of these. So recap, I know I'm talking a lot, telling you stories in between, but so 4 of the white, the base white, 2 of the colored cardstock. And so now you need to cut 2 of the pattern paper in a size that's smaller than what you started with. Okay. So like I said on mine, I'm going to skip 1 and then go to this 3rd one. So anyway, I was trying to find a, I don't know if this is going to fit here. I got to cut this a little bit. Someone who was platinum. And so I was asking everybody around us if anyone was platinum. Nobody was platinum. So I walked up and down the aisles in the convention center in that ballroom where we were meeting, because we got there early. My team was a little bit, I'm sorry if any of the team is listening or watching. My team was crazy about trying to sit together, and so we had to get there really, really early. So for instance, for say a 9 o'clock meeting, they opened the doors at 8:30. We had to be standing in line, like somebody was there at like 8 o'clock. So we were there really early so we could sit together. So I had about 15 minutes to try and find a platinum demonstrator. Okay, I am going to kind of fussy cut this a little bit to get the most strawberries. So depending on what your pattern paper is, you know, put it so that you get the best cutout possible. So I was going up and down and I was asking every row, anybody a platinum? Anybody from Illinois? Anybody a platinum? Anyone from Illinois? I went all the way up the whole hall, went across and went down the next aisle. And I was going down the next aisle and she was sitting, Sandy's sister was sitting on the very end of the aisle. And I said, anybody a platinum? Anybody from Illinois? And I was like, oh my gosh, hi, I've been looking for you. So I mean, I had been keeping my eye out for her, but I wasn't at that particular moment really, you know, looking for her. So it was kind of fun to run into her. Okay, so what do we have so far? I've got 4 of the base pieces, 2 of the cardstock, if you're going to use this one, and then I've got 2 of the pattern paper in a smaller size. If you're just going to use the pattern paper, you know, you don't need the green. But if you do that, you have to cut the pattern paper in the bigger size. Okay. Okay. While I've got this out, then I'm going to cut these frames. Okay. So I'm going to see if this works, but I wanted to, do you think if I make it gold, like it's a gold frame, that's too much? I don't think that's too much. Is having a gold frame too much? I don't think so. So let's see. I got this piece. Let's see if that's wide enough. Yeah, I mean, I may not have found her if she hadn't been sitting on the edge. So, okay. So, let's see. This will fit here. Okay, I think these are going to fit. So I'm going to use these two, which is what I used before. And if the gold doesn't look good on this, we can cut those in cherry cobbler. I think I've got some cherry cobbler that's big enough. You know, I'm gonna cut this in half because it's a little bit too long to put like that, but I can put them side by side. So I can do it in one go round. Yeah, she just happened to be sitting there on the side and I was like, oh. And then I met her upline, and it's somebody who I not knew, but I've seen on Facebook posting stuff, you know. So I thought that was kind of fun. I'll have to talk to her to see what she thought of the convention. Okay, these are pretty good. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Look at that in gold. Is that not gorgeous? And I will tell you, let me give you a little bit of a heads up, but one of the things in the new catalog, I think these are going to be perfect for. So I would get them now. And you want to make sure that all the little pieces are popped out. Like I do see there's a little bit here. I'm going to take my Picket tool and just pop those out. But you can see it cut pretty well, and I'm not using a precision plate or anything on my cutter. Yeah, I think these are gorgeous. And I'm just going to pop these out. So next time when I am using this, those pieces won't be in there. If you keep those in there as you're cutting it the next time, it doesn't seem to cut as deep. And so it does affect the quality of the next cut. Okay, so I think those are all out. Now let's work on this one, because this one didn't pop out. But they have these nice holes that you can use your Picket tool or something, or a pin to punch out, and it makes it pop out nice. Now this one up here, these are not, there's a cut there, but it's not, they're not pieces. It's just like, I don't know, cut out, or there's just a slit there. Like, keep these because these can be used for something later. So I'm going to keep these. Let me toss this, and I probably would keep that. I'm not going to right now. Okay, now since I was putting these guys on there, I thought they might get lost in this busy background paper, so I did put white behind. So I'm going to cut that again. And then once we've got these all cut, the next part, putting it all together, is going to go really, really quick. Okay, so I'm going to use this and cut these out again so I can have the centers. Okay, this is optional. You don't have to if you're not using, you know, background paper that's busy, or if you're going to put something that's you know, big enough that covers most of that space. Or you could keep the gold in there, but I feel if you keep the gold in there, then you lose the feeling that it's a frame, you know. Okay, so I will punch these out later and use them, but all I really want from this cut are these. So I'll just take these and then we'll move on. I'll put this down and do it later. Okay, now I think we have everything. So how's everybody doing? Is everybody cut up? Do you have everything you need cut? Let me know. I'm going to wait here 1 second while I hear from you. Oh, I should have asked beforehand. Do you think that the gold is good on here, or should I cut it in the cherry cobbler? I really love the gold. I think I'm going to keep the gold. Hi, Tina. We're making these today, these trifold cards, using the Everyday Arches set. Using these. And the Storybook Moments. Okay, so again, to summarize, what you need is 4 of the bigger base pieces. If you're going to make this longer, like a longer accordion, you need however many accordion pieces you want, plus 1 for this side, okay? And then I chose to do 2 colored pieces that are the same size as the base pieces, and then I cut 2 pattern pieces to decorate, okay? Alternatively, you could just cut 2 of the pattern pieces the same size as your background piece, okay? Okay, so here's how we put it together. Now you want to take your pieces. Mine, you'll notice mine has the dot edging around here, like a little stitched edging. If yours has a stitched edging, you want to put the stitch edging face down. Face down. I know that doesn't make sense, but you put 3 of them face down. Okay? Because you want the back to be finished. Because you're going to be covering up the front. And so if you do it this way, you're going to have the back finished also. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't do that, but if you're stitched, if you do have a stitched die, you want to put it face down. If it doesn't have a stitched die, then it doesn't matter. Okay. And you're going to need a piece of, like, typing paper. This is just printer paper. Okay? You need something that's thin. Okay? And then you want to look at, on mine, the whole piece is 5 1/4, but basically, I would say it's a flat edge up to maybe, say, 3 1/2 or something like that. I'm going to cut these at like 3 inches tall. So depending on what die you're using or how tall your die is, you are going to want to cut it just below so you don't see it. And then I'm going to cut it about 2 inches wide. And I'm going to need 2 of these. And you want to use something thin, like typing paper. I would not use cardstock. I mean, at the most, I would use some thin pattern paper. Okay. Hey, Jean. I sent you something, I think on TikTok. yesterday or today. So check it out. I don't know if you saw it. Okay, so what we're going to do is take your 3 pieces and line them up. If you want to use your Versamat or some lined things so that they're kind of in line. And what I learned from this one is you do want to have like just the tiniest sliver of space between them. You don't want a lot, but you want just a small space because you want them to be able to open and close. Okay. I learned that kind of the hard way. I don't know. Okay, so you see how my paper here doesn't go above where my die starts to diverge from each other, right? So whatever size you use, make sure that you're not going to be able to see it out the top. And then just add glue. I added glue kind of like this. I tried to avoid that very center so that it wouldn't squish out the back. So have these lined up. And then glue it down. Now these are going to be covered up with the top layer, so it's okay, right? It's not going to look ugly like this. But then I would, just make sure, like I said, before it's completely dry, that you're able to open and close everything. And this is what holds it together. Tina, I wish I would have stayed an extra day. Getting up at 4 a.m. kind of really stunk. I've been really tired today. So you were smart staying an extra day. Okay. Okay, now you're going to take your other papers and we're going to be putting it like this. Now again, mine is, this is stitched, so I'm going to put the stitch this time facing up. So you want to have this nice balance between having enough space for these to open and close, and then having too much space where you're going to be able to see in between. Like this one's pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can close it just a little more. Okay, so then I'm just going to glue this onto the front of that to cover. And you want to try and be real careful to make sure that it is exactly even. You don't want to see green from that side, and you don't want to see white from this side. So let's do this one. Oh, that's good. There's still a lot of people there. I bet you a lot of people stayed to see. Sigrid and I did go down to the state capitol. I don't know if time-wise it's too late now, but we went down to the state capitol, and that was really, really nice. Okay, so before this really dries too much, make sure that it's going to open both directions. Okay, so that's why you need some extra space, because you don't want these to bend. I found out the hard way when I did the third one over there. It made the red kind of bend. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now on this one, I'm going to do a white so that I could stamp on this. I did think potentially cutting another green one, the old olive, and then making the centerpiece be white. You could do that too, right? So I could have cut a green one here and then made a smaller white one. I just made the same, big white one. And again, these ones are going with the stitching up. And when you put it on, make sure that you're making it even, top and bottom and side, so that they don't show. I've got a piece of hair that's glued to my finger someplace, but I can't. There we go. Okay, and then before it gets, I'm using glue so that I have time to mess with it. Okay, you want it to be able to open and close, okay. So that's why make sure you're leaving a smidge of space here in between the two. Okay, so now what's beautiful about this is you've got a beautiful clean edge on both the front and the back. This is a nice finished edge, because you know that those stitch dies, there is a right side and a wrong side on it, right? So here, both sides have a finished edge, and that connector is covered. Yes, this is called the Everyday Arches. This would, and I've actually seen a scrapbook layout where they put, like, say this was my 12 by 12 page, and you can kind of see it. Imagine my Versamat is a 12 by 12 page. They put 3 of the frames at the top, 3 of the frames at the bottom. So like when we went to some of those cathedrals, that would be beautiful in this. There's the link to the Everyday Arches. Okay, so now I'm going to put the pattern paper on top. And again, I'm using this Storybook Moments, and I just really love this strawberry paper. And I'm going to center it. So again, this is going to depend if you have, if your art, whatever set you're using, if you have a die that's the smaller, if they're nested and you have a smaller one, use the smaller one. If not, you could just put a circle or an oval or something like that in there. It would look good too. Okay, put this guy here. Now again, if you want this to be less heavy and thick, because we've got 2 layers of cardstock here, plus this layer of pattern paper, you could have just cut, instead of the cardstock, I could have just cut the berry paper. Okay. Okay, now let's put our frames down. And this is where you can be, creative, depending on what theme that you're using. But since I'm using these frames, the frames really were what, I built this whole card around the frames fitting in these arches, was kind of what I really wanted. So I'm not going to use the glue on this because you guys know me with the glue. I'm like, I don't know why I get it everywhere, but I do. I need to get one of those little, the glue that has the really little thing, kind of like our old liquid glass did. But for those of you who have been with me for a while, you know I always screwed up my liquid glass too, so I don't know. Okay. The frame, I don't know, to me this crowny part looks like it goes at the top and this part at the bottom, but you can do it however you want. I'm going to center that. I don't know if that loses, can you see that on that busy background? That's why I used the old olive on this one. I thought it would show up pretty well, but I really wanted to try this out with gold because these frames look so gorgeous. And I wanted to really feature these frames. But at this point, you could stamp, like if you don't have this set and you're using a different set, you could stamp images. You know, you could even put different sentiments, you know, happy birthday or something like that. Okay, now I did put the white. I remember I cut out the white so that my my little animals showed pretty well. I probably could have left the gold, you know, the gold center, but I wanted it to look like a frame, so. Okay. And now you guys can help me pick out what I put in here. I do think it's a must-have. There were so many really good samples from stuff from the new catalog where they used the arches, right? They had some of the demonstrators who were presenting at the convention used some of the arches. And like I said, my swaps, the one that I did with the arches and I made the rainbows, that everybody loved that one. That one went first. So okay, so like I said, you could stamp the images, stamp the bunnies from here and color. Like I said, like I did on my YouTube video where I made the scene, I stamped these and colored these with watercolor pencils. Or you can use these dies and cut out the animals. Let me find the one that's got the animals on it. Like this fits this guy here, right? You could use the dies and cut these guys out. Or which is what I'm going to do is use some of the punch outs. And because, again, I wanted to focus on putting the card together more than stamping and coloring and cutting, which is what I focused on in my YouTube video. But I don't know, since it's the gold, I was going to do, I was thinking about doing these little mice that are in the teacup. But I think what I'm going to have to do is put these little Bridgerton looking sheep in here. I don't know, what do you think? There's a guy too somewhere. Oh, here he is. I think I should put her in. Well, yeah, I don't know. Do you think they're too big? They might be too big for those. Tell me if you think they're too big. I could do the same ones with the little bunny. Maybe some carrots. No. I'll put this one maybe with the guy. I don't know. You guys have a thought on which ones I should use? Should I use the Bridgerton guys? Or I could use the ducks because they're kind of small. Or should I just keep on with the mice? I was going to do the mice. There's another cute mouse that I need to find. This reminds me, for some reason, did you guys know Raleigh is somehow known as the Oak State or something? There were acorns everywhere. You walked along the street and all of their like garbage cans had acorns and things on them. Okay, there's another little mouse. I have already punched out some of these, so maybe he's in here. Nobody has an opinion on whether I should do the Bridgerton guys or the other mouse. This guy's kind of cute with a fork, but I like this one. This guy's cute. But I wanted it to be Eastery. I want to send this as an Easter card. Oh, here's the other one, but oh, this was the other mouse. Okay. So these were the two mice that I was thinking about. This one needs a little bit more something, but I'll do this. Okay, I'll go ahead and just do these ones because no one's commenting what they think I should use. Yeah, I think they're too big too. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking those, but then once I put them on there, they're too big. I was going to give them, bring it. I could have brought this to the Jane Austen Festival this summer and handed them out to the lords and ladies there. Okay, let's do this little guy. Okay. I mean, originally, before I cut this out with the gold, I was planning on using these mice. I made this one. It says somebody loves you, and I'm going to give this to my grandkids because it's got the girl and the little boy, so I thought that one was cute. Okay, and then let's stamp a sentiment. So the sentiments are, welcome little one. So that's another good thing about this set is it doesn't have to be Easter, and this is kind of cute if, you know, for little ones. Easter greetings, somebody loves you, hello friend, and thank you so very much. So I think I'm going to use Easter greetings because I am planning on using this as an Easter card. Get my block here. How are you guys' cards coming? Julie and Dee, are you? I know you said you were crafting along, so is it going okay? I need to re-ink my memento. There we go. But I think it's been out for a while. The re-inker's been out of stock. clean it off. Okay, and then this one I glued a little strawberries just to give it something, a little bit something. The other option would be to do the green and then do this medium one in white, so it's, you know, got a little bit of the green on it. Here is the strawberries again, so I'll just use that because it goes with the strawberries here. There we go. Oh, gee, you guys are, I know, you guys are always so fast and so great. Okay, so nice. Look at these. And then again, you can make these really as long as you want. If you go more than this, I would say it might weigh, you know, you might need to put that extra stamp on. This one, I don't know. I think it could probably still go through with a regular stamp. But obviously don't quote me on that. I feel that the thing that you need to worry about the most is making sure that these open and close. Because like I said, if you had watched me make this one, actually I did a TikTok video earlier that I posted. I actually had made all three with the cherry cobbler, but when I opened it up like this, the cherry cobbler on this one bent like 1/8 of an inch. It bent over because I had it right butted up against each other. So, okay. And if you're concerned that you can see like the white, like I didn't get this one perfect. Again, this was my first time. You could use the marker and color it in a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't do it unless you like absolutely have to, but you could go in there and I don't know if you can see it from the other side. You got to be careful, I think. I did hide that. You don't really see it. So you can decorate this as you want, you know, whatever you want. You can even do the backs if you want. You can make it 4, 5, 6, however long. Like actually this might be nice to make a display on your mantle. Like I could do one and do Easter, E-A-S. Let's say we made it like this, E-A-S-T-E-R, and then put it on your mantle. Wouldn't that be cute? And that would go with the new dies that I showed you at the from the convention when I did the live from the product playground. That actually would fit in there. Those letters would fit in there nicely. So you can make it however long that you want. Yeah, like the one I made my mom. Yeah, you could put, let's see, if I had like 1/2-inch candles, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could put 8 on here. I would have had 10. I could have done a 10 thing and made 80 candles on there for her. That would have been nice. That would have been fun. It was kind of what I ended up doing, basically. Okay, next week we're going to make a scrapbook layout. We're going to make a scrapbook layout using these Wildflower Birthday. And this paper is amazing. It has the gold foiled, some gold foil on here. And then I also had some of these little banners. So we're going to use the Wildflower birthday to make a scrapbook layout. That's next week. Does anybody have any questions about this or about the convention? Anything you want to know about the convention? I can't show you the thing, but I can show you the cover of the catalog. Here's a new catalog. It kind of maybe gives you some ideas. Would you like to see the products that I got from the Make and Take? I'm allowed to show you products that we have. So I got this. I actually traded my Prize Patrol one for this one. Someone wanted the one that I had, and I didn't really love. I mean, I loved it, but I like this one more. So I got that. So I traded that. Let's see. Got this. This was from the Make and Take. We made these. These were the Make and Takes for this. I got this one, Impressions of Bloom, and I made 2 cards with that. And these are, this is the new color, the Timid Tiger, and this is the yellow. Oh, my little thingies came off of there. The Darling Duckling. The green is just Garden Green, I think. And then that's the new cloud cover. This is a scrapbook layout that we did. Which one? Which one she's swooning over? This one or this one? This one? She's swooning over this. It was Prize Patrol. I could give it as a Prize Patrol. And then here's the scrapbook layout. I am going to do a live where I just talk about the convention. Oh, look at that. I bent that. I should have put it in here like I did this one. This is a scrapbook layout we made for one of the Make and Takes. This is the cloud cover, and this is the, what's it called? Secret Sea. Let's see. Here's some of the paper. I'm only allowed to show you this because it's products, but I can't show you the picture of this in the catalog, but I can show you the product. Okay. These are fun to make, and I really like this font. It's like a brush stroke. I think Close to My Heart had one from, and I was gonna say Melissa Estridge, but it's Melissa Esplin. That reminds me of the Melissa Esplin one. I'm gonna put this in here so I don't bend it up any more than I did already. So they did have scrapbooking Make and Takes, which I thought was good. So let's look at the colors. Here's the cloud cover. Secret Sea. Strawberry Slush. Let's see. Timid Tiger. And the Darling Duckling. Aren't those cute? What do you guys think of the new In Colors? As far as I know, none of the main colors, like I said, I didn't really get a chance to look at the catalog very well because they gave it to us in a dark convention hall, but I don't think any of the regular colors are going away. So like the only ones that are going away are the 2023, 2025 colors, and those are the ones that were like the boho blue, I think it's the copper clay, you know, that one are going away. And these ones are taking its place. So all of the yellows are going to be there, and whatever oranges we have, like the pumpkin and the peach pie and, you know, all that, I think are still going to be there. You want to, yeah, this dark blue. Let me get some of the other oranges. These are the 2024, 2026 colors, and this is the orange. Let's see, I think I have a piece. So you can see it's a little bit, it's darker. Let me get my handy dandy little thing here to find the pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie, okay, is in the brights. Let's compare it to pumpkin pie. What do you think? It's a little more melony than the pumpkin pie. What do you think? Let me hold that up closer. So this is pumpkin pie on the card. This is the peach pie, and then this is the timid tiger. So yeah, so they're very different. I mean, not very different. I mean, they're both orange. They're all oranges, but you can see there is a difference between them. This one looks like what color, for the Close to My Heart had the melon. Didn't we have a melon stamp of the month, color of the year? No, because this is definitely more pink. So no, this is melon, Close to My Heart melon. Cantaloupe. Yeah, it does kind of look like a cantaloupe. So yeah, the new Timid Tiger does not look like melon. But it does, it is a cantaloupe color. So I'll have a lot more to talk about. You know, like I said, I might do a live later regarding the convention and just talk about things. There's a lot of good things. Like I said, I think one of the things that I really came away with, and I knew this because, I mean, crafting has kept our friendships, you know, going. Like during COVID, trying to connect with each other, we did it through crafting, right? And we've been doing it now for 5 years. So, and if you were watching my live from the product playground when I showed that wall where people had to put flowers up about why you stay or why you became a demonstrator or something like that, the majority of them were all about friendships. But what do you love about, I guess, what do you love about being a demonstrator? I don't know, but it was all about, almost everyone that said friendships. I think there was like one that said something about product, and that was it. But almost everybody said about, friendships and community. And I like that idea that the CEO said, where we connect, a lot through technology, but we're just not connecting. We don't have that connection. And this gives us a connection. Like when you send a card, you send a card to somebody who's lonely or send a card to somebody who's going through a rough time, you're connecting with that person. So it's meaningful. So that was really my takeaway message from the convention, is how important this is, especially in this time that we're living in, where everything is so uncertain and people are struggling. Doing these kinds of things is important. So. Yeah, it is kind of a nectarine color. So I like that orange. So, okay. So see you next week for the wildflower birthday scrapbook layout. If you guys make one of these, please post it in the group. I don't know if I think I dropped a link to the Everyday Arches, but here's a link to the Storybook Suite. I do think that there is something that's out of stock that you can't get the whole suite, but a lot of you can get the paper the last I checked, and maybe the stamp set. So just check to see. But I'd really like to see what you've done. So post it, especially if obviously anything, but if you use a different shape, I'd like to see how they turned out, because I think you can use other shapes. I think you can use a hexagon. I'm not sure. You might be able to sand it up on the points, I would say. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to head out because I am tired from my long day. And I will talk to you later. Bye.